I want to talk about passion. Do you know what passion means? Passion is actually to suffer. In the Latin root, passion comes from the word pati, which means to suffer.
Okay.
And it's interesting that people don't realize that passion is actually suffering. That's why, in the biblical sense, it's the passion of the Christ, the suffering of Christ.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
why is passion suffering? Because when you talk about being passionate or doing something you're passionate about, what it's really trying to tell you is you're willing to suffer for something that you love so much. That you're willing to do whatever it takes
Yeah.
for what you love. Because like in the biblical sense, that was Christ's passion, is
Yeah.
his love for people, that he was willing to suffer and die for them.
Right. Right.
In much the same way, passion in the modern sense now is actually asking yourself, what is it that you're willing to do when you're not paid to do it? When you're doing it and nobody knows you're doing it, not for ego, not for fame, not for money, for the love of it. When you can ask yourself that question, what are you passionate about? In that sense, in that truest sense, is when you know that that's really what you want to do.
Right. Right.
And when you can do that, then you can start really living in your truest potential and living in a true state of happiness because you're doing something that you love, that you will do at whatever cost. I want you to ask yourself, what is it that you love to do that if you were not paid to do it, that if nobody knew you were doing it, if you didn't have to do it for fame, for money, for affirmation, for acknowledgement,
Right.
for the pure joy of that process of whatever it is that you want to do, what would you do? So when you can decide what you're willing to suffer for, that's really what your true calling is. And that's what passion is all about.